Okay, so wanted to do something a little bit different here. Wanted to highlight a lesson from the other day. This player was looking to improve his 50-yard shot. Is about 45-yard carry shot on this one, 50-yard total. And I just wanted to highlight how we started and some of his tendencies, and then also how that progressed from the first two shots there where the spins were under 3,000 all the way up to the 15th shot there where the spin was over 8,000, and what we did to do that. This was our second lesson where we really focused on this, so we were able to do it a little bit quicker this time because he had a pretty good idea of the principles and the feels that he was looking to achieve. So if we look at the swing here on the first one, you can see as the club's going back, the club head's going to want to work a little bit too much behind him, and then it's going to set a little bit more than we need for this short of a shot. So his hands are a little bit low, the club head's a little bit high, and then we're having to release this a lot more through the shot. And you can see how that club head was just hitting the ground a little bit hard because how set the wrists were. So we look at that same thing from face on. So the setup is good. As we're getting to this position, club's working quite a bit longer than we need for this short of a shot, and you can see as he transitions, the wrists load a little bit more than we need, and then the hands are working down a little bit too much into the ball with a little too much load of the shaft there, and you can see how the club wants to strike pretty down on it, and then it's hard for him to get that nice flat shot. So the launches were a bit high here. If we go back, we look at the launch. You can see launch was 36 on that one and then 40 on this one. So we sort of progressed to the after here. So this is shot number 13. This one carried exactly 50. Launch was 29. Attacking was 6 down and spin was 7,300. So if we look at that one, so I got the stick in the ground here. This is just to help the sweet spot stay in front of him on the backswing. And you can see the length of swing is a little bit shorter. You also see the club head's releasing a little bit sooner. So the club's not driving into the ground here. You can see it sort of just slide through the turf as he's releasing it. And he's got a little bit fuller finish here, letting the club head swing. And that one was a lot flatter flight, obviously. From face on, I think this is where you'll see the biggest difference. You see the club works a little bit wider and more in front of him. He's got a little bit more width there through the wrists. And then as he's releasing, you can see the hands are starting to work up earlier as the club's letting out. So as the club lets out, it is allowing his hands to drive up sooner. And you can see how he just clips it off the turf, lets his body rotate through. And this one was the same idea. It has that nice flat flight. 24 launch. This one was even a little bit lower. And then we go to the 8,000. Went a little bit further, 57 yards here, but you can see launch was 27. It was picked off the turf nicely. Hit lower on the face. Really nice flight. And then that led to that 8,000 spin on a less than 60-yard shot. So if you're having trouble with that shot, that was just a little insight of a lesson that I gave, and it's some of the tendencies I see quite often, so I thought it would be helpful for the viewer.
Awesome. $7,300 spin there.